The Gym 110 MMA is offering a new mixed martial arts class to people of all ages this summer. Let's throw it over to Thomas Wildman with more.
Today we are joined by Andrew Mavridis, the head coach at Gym 110, and he is here today to talk to us a little bit about the new programs and classes they're going to be holding this August. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Andrew.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Andrew, so tell our viewers that aren't officially knowing about the Gym 110, tell me a little bit about Gym 110 and kind of what you guys have been doing here in the border city for the last few years.
Actually, it hasn't been a few years. We just officially launched beginning of July, so we're just a brand new mixed martial arts gym, just kind of teaching kickboxing, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, helping build courage, confidence, and self-control.
All right, and then Andrew, tell me a little bit about yourself then, as you were mentioning before the interview that you've been in mixed martial arts. Tell me a little bit about what you've done in mixed martial arts in your time.
I've dedicated just coming up on 10 years to the sport of mixed martial arts. I've had amateur fights, professional fights. I train every day. It's kind of my passion right now, so yeah, just kind of diving right into it.
Excellent. And so you obviously know a lot about your stuff, and you were mentioning about teaching self-confidence. So with these new classes that you guys are going to be offering to people, what are you trying to teach on that self-confidence and just with that, learning how to fight as well?
So the confidence comes with learning how to fight as well as learning when not to fight. You know, using your words first, but also still having that confidence in if it gets to that point. But we're not trying to build fighters here. We just want people to come have fun, punch, kick some bags and stuff, and yeah, just have a real good time.
And so will these classes be kind of from all ages, or are there specific ages for specific nights? Kind of tell me the program, how you guys are going to be running the program throughout this August.
Yeah, we have kinderboxing, which is about 3 to 5 age groups, and then we have a 5 to 8-year-old class, 8 to 12 class, and then we're going to have a youth 12 to 14 or 16, I think. And then we have adults of all ages. We have a women's class in the mornings, all women's class. We might add an evening women's only class, again, just to bring the ladies in the door and, again, help them have confidence.
And when you're talking about having that confidence and like knowing when and when not to fight, it's not exactly going to be, for sure you're going to, like, it's a more self-defense oriented, right? Is that kind of what you guys are working with the classes, or kind of what are people going to expect if they do sign up for the class?
First of all, it's just come have fun, right? Get in shape, come try something new. Again, that's part of the courage thing. Walking in the door of a fight to gym is one of the hardest things to do for people. It was one of the hardest things to do for me when I first walked in the gym. And then, yeah, if you want to go down that road of competition, sure, we can get you there. But no, just come have fun and have a sweat.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew. And just where can people go to get more information and possibly sign up if they're interested?
So you guys can check out our website at thegym110.com. Follow us on Instagram at thegym110, Facebook, all that stuff.
Awesome, perfect. Thank you so much for all the information, Andrew, and be sure to check out the Gym 110 on Facebook and Instagram and at their website if you're interested in trying out mixed martial arts.
Well, and one thing we should mention too is the Online News Act could impact our own Facebook page
yes,
for primetime
which is very
local
unfortunate.
news. Yeah, so we want to remind people, if you want to submit pet photos or weather photos, you can also do so to tv-news@stingray.com or send Shelby an email because we want to see your weather photos still, hey?
Yeah, I really hope everybody does email me your photos. It's sclarke, SCLARKE @stingray.com.
Yeah.
So make sure to send them because I would still love to showcase everybody's weather photos and, of course, still show those pet photos. So that is a shame that maybe we wouldn't be able to get that on our Facebook page anymore.
But we still were able to get some now. You can still head to the page until those Meta decides to change that. And I know you have a bunch of weather photos to show us at the end of your forecast.
Of course. So let's go take a first look at our weather forecast here, because we are going to check out what we are looking at here in the border city. And we are seeing a very nice temperature still here in the border city, kind of continuing on through the week. So here for our Wednesday, we are just sitting at 25 degrees. So those mid-20s is still continuing on. We are looking still at some nice warm day. So hopefully everybody's enjoying it, but also being safe. Remember to stay hydrated and use that sunscreen because we have been seeing a much sunnier day as well. So it has been beautiful, but of course we still have that dry heat kind of continuing on. Now switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. The Alberta side, most spots are seeing those mid-20s as well, between 25 to 26 degrees. And then we have a couple that are looking slightly warmer, going a bit lower to Wainwright and Provost at 27 and 28, so even getting closer to that 30-degree mark than what we have been seeing compared to earlier on in the week. And we go a bit higher up and they start to slightly cool down. We are just seeing 23 in St. Paul and now looking at 21 up in Lac La Biche. But we all are still looking past that 20-degree mark, so I don't think any of us are really complaining. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side to check them out across our region, they are kind of matching with us with those conditions, especially up in Isle La Crosse, still just sitting at 21. They are still seeing slightly cooler conditions. And then we start to warm up as we go a bit lower, 24 in most spots, while we're just reaching 25 in St. Walburg and down in Maidstone and Macklin and North Battleford. They are seeing the nicest conditions there with 27 in North Battleford and Maidstone and Macklin just underneath that 30-degree mark with around 28 to 29 degrees. So we got some scorchers on our Saskatchewan side. North Battleford won't be cooling down by too much for their evening low. They will be going down to a low of 15. So seeing that strong temperature for their evening low. So it's going to be quite warm tonight. They are expecting more of a slight breeze later on in the evening. So hopefully that will help out there. But it is going to be quite hot for North Battleford throughout the evening. They won't be seeing a high chance of precipitation, unfortunately, but at least it will be a nice evening. Then for their Thursday, daytime high of 31 degrees. So looking at a scorcher for North Battleford tomorrow. They have been seeing these scorchers kind of already throughout the week, but this is probably their warmest day expected. And they aren't seeing too much of cloudy skies. They are expecting plenty of sunshine. So if you're in that area, make sure to have that water ready and that sunscreen ready. Cold Lake will be going down to low 14, so they also will be seeing a nice warm evening temperature. They are expecting a couple of showers later on, 100% chance, so that will be nice. They will be getting some precipitation to kind of balance out this dry heat conditions. And then for their Thursday, daytime high of 25, so they will be seeing those mid-20s continue on throughout the day. And for tomorrow, they are expecting a day full of mixture of some sun and clouds, so it will be beautiful. For us here in the border city, we will be going down to low 14, so we are expecting a warm evening as well tonight. We aren't seeing a high chance of rainfall, unfortunately. Hopefully we may get some later on in the week. And then for our Thursday, daytime high of 27, so we will warm up slightly from what we have been seeing. We will be getting closer to that 30-degree mark for tomorrow and expecting plenty of sunshine. So like I said, make sure to be prepared for these warm conditions. And then off the look at some of what Jace was talking about, these weather photos. Hopefully everybody still submits. You know where to do it now. We got Terry here, beautiful rainbow shot, double rainbow. So that is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. This one is Noah in Edmonton. Gorgeous sunset shot. Love to see it. Thank you, Noah, for this one. And this is our classic Jace Mackey, another Nordegg submission. Gorgeous shot there, Jace. And that's all. Oh, no, this one came to the sideways one. Sorry about that, everybody. That was my shot. That's unfortunate. But that's all I have for now for first look at your weather forecast.
Just tilt your head to the side a little bit. You can still see it there. Thanks for that, Shelby. Stay with us. After the break, we'll have a look at today's business headlines.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Neil Campbell, Regional Operations Manager with Flamin, and was on the committee for the Little Warriors Be Brave Ranch. Thank you so much for joining us today, Neil.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Happy to be able to have you on here because this is an extremely important but also very difficult topic to speak about. Now, with what you're advocating for and what you want people to learn through your experience. So starting off, can you explain what the Be Brave Ranch exactly is?
Little Warriors Be Brave Ranch is a one-of-a-kind facility that treats children that have been sexually abused. 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 5 boys will be sexually abused in their lifetime. Myself, I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I was abused at the age of 9 over the span of a year, and I've decided to speak about my story, tell my story, in the hopes that will bring more awareness to what I believe is truly a worldwide epidemic.
And with being a survivor, like you were saying, you know how important it is to want to spread awareness on this issue. So I wanted to ask you, what made you decide to become a voice in this matter and become a part of the ranch?
So for myself, how I was inspired to start, being an activist, I guess is what you could call it, is I read Theo Fleury's book, Playing with Fire. Most people know his story. So that motivated me, it inspired me to try and do more to help with this issue in any way I can. I stumbled across the Be Brave Ranch, and honestly, I can't even remember how. But I went out there for the first time to drop off some donations, and obviously it was an extremely emotional time. But it allowed me to support them, and I've been supporting them since 2017.
Now, through your experience and journey of making your way to the Be Brave Ranch, how would you say it's benefiting for sexual assault victims? Has there been a strong response so far, a big impact?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I mean, when the kids come to the ranch, I've actually spent time with some of the kids. I've been lucky enough to be asked to spend time and mentor some of the boys. When they arrive there, they're a certain person. When they leave, they're a totally different person. So the impact is enormous. How you measure it, boy, I'll tell you, all you have to do is just spend some time with these kids. They're finally in a safe area. They're getting the counseling that they need. They're learning how to cope. And the impacts, we won't see the impacts for years. And why I say that is a lot of survivors turn to substance abuse to, cover up their shame and their anger and their feelings from their abuse. So for myself, that was something that I did. I abused alcohol for many, many years, still struggle with addiction. So when we talk about how it's going to impact lives, really 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, when these kids are actually not having to go through some of the situations that I did, that's where we'll really see the results of what this ranch does for these children.
And for people even watching this interview alone on your experience and what the Be Brave Ranch has to offer, what are you hoping people will get out of this message that you're advocating for?
Well, a few things. The first one, most importantly, is just the awareness of how significant sexual abuse is in our society. People don't want to talk about it. They sweep it under the rug, and it's just one of those conversations that people don't want to have. I want to make people uncomfortable. I want people to have to talk about it because a lot of people feel they haven't been affected by sexual abuse, but you have been, but you may not even know it. Somebody in your family may have been abused and they are acting out and they're having self-harm or once again addiction issues. So I want to start the conversation, and really especially for men, because men don't talk about it. We aren't allowed to do that, right? We're supposed to be tough and macho, if that's even a word anymore. I don't know what macho is, but we're supposed to be strong all the time. So I want to be one of the people that lead and show that it's okay to be vulnerable as a man and talk about these things. Secondly, I want to make sure that people understand and know that the ranch is out there. The most important thing for the ranch for people to know is that they get no government funding. So everything that they have is based on donation, whether it's cash or actual items. So, you could go to the Little Warriors Be Brave Ranch link and there's an items needed list. So I would compare it to if you wanted to go out and open a summer camp next week, well, anything a summer camp needs, they need. It's that massive. So, and I guess thirdly is just to have a voice for people that haven't found theirs yet. Because I know before I went public in 2017, not a lot of people knew about what happened to me. And um, when I finally decided to talk about my story, I really felt free. There was a weight lifted, and I want to help people lift that weight if I can.
Well, truly, Neil, I think what you're doing is very inspiring for being able to open with your personal experience and being an advocate for other victims who aren't comfortable with that just yet. I know you were just bringing up how people can donate to the ranch and everything, but how else can people help support in any way they can with the ranch or in other ways for victims?
It's important for people to know. I think that everybody wants to help and make a big difference. And sometimes when we feel we're not making a big difference, it doesn't help. But every little bit helps with the ranch, whether it's a box of Q-tips or it's a bag of socks or it's uh, clothing, whether it's soap, whatever it is, every little bit helps. And I want people to understand that. Even if you donate $20, that helps. So we don't have to have large donations. We will just take whatever we can to help these kids that need our help and support.
Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Neil. This was a heavy topic, but essential to spread awareness on for anyone out there that could be going through that similar experience or even know someone who is. So I'm glad we could help get the word out on the Little Warriors Be Brave Ranch and be able to speak with you. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. As you said, it's not an easy topic to discuss, but I'm very grateful that you took the time to reach out and allowed me some time to talk and bring this to light.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm joined today here on Primetime Local News by author Afton Feltham. She's here to talk about her new novel, but before we get into that, I wanted to ask you a little bit about yourself. Why did you get into writing in the first place?
My name is Afton Feltham. I'm 35, I'll say it, that's fine. Mother of 2 wonderful children, happily married. Living in Edmonton now quite some time, and I absolutely love city life. The opportunities here, of course. As for my writing, it's always been a passion, something that I can think back being a kid, carrying a scribbler and always having some start of some story. Stephen King was always an inspiration, of course, but I was never able to write some horror story, not anything of great length. So I wound up writing romance, and I have several other novels I've written, nothing else published, but hopefully in the near future, more to come.
And now let's talk a little bit about your novel, Bloom of the Desert Rose. I'll give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about it without spoiling anything too big.
This story follows Marie Bensworth. 10 years she's been married. Her husband is a good man, but there's no love that has formed over this time. It's unfortunate for her, and she's lost in this repetitive world of routine and construction that all of society, we look upon people as such a way, especially in 1913 when this is set. So when their nearest neighbor suddenly passes away, a stranger comes to town, and a great many doors open for herself and other people in town once he enters the picture. So there's a little bit of a love triangle. There's some romance scenes, what people want to hear, of course. And I had a wonderful time writing it. I spent 7 years doing so. But being on this side now, having it completed and a real novel is quite thrilling.
That's awesome. It must have been quite the journey to get here through all those years. Seems like that main character, she's at a crossroads in the novel there. Talk a little bit about maybe what inspired you to tell this story, explore some of the, exploring loneliness, and then also having that character have to make that decision eventually.
Definitely with the romance behind it, I think of myself and my husband in the best kind of ways. I enjoy writing such things. I enjoy the feelings, the emotions. It's wonderful to write. And at the same time, I've struggled with depression most of my life. And I feel that gives me a window as well into those different emotions on the other side of that loneliness, of that separation, even when you're in a crowded room, right?
Mhm. And so is this a book that you would say, if you're a fan of romance novels, this will most likely be something that will be up your alley?
I dare say, I'd love to think so. It's we'd say Western romance, but they're categorizing it as a Western fantasy. There's not a lot of fantasy in it, but I believe so. I think it could be a well-loved romance novel.
No, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people of our viewers that may be interested in picking up a copy of this book, taking a look through and just experiencing what you've written now. I know you're going to be coming here to Lloydminster in the near future. You'll be at Coles at the Lloyd Mall. So let us know maybe where people can kind of keep tabs on you and find out when you'll be coming here to Lloyd, or maybe if they just want to buy the book online. Yeah, do you have a website, stuff like that?
I certainly do. It is afauthor.ca. So hopefully people can track that down. My name, even again, the title, Bloom of the Desert Rose. If you Google her, you'll track me down quite easily. I have many options on the website, as well as the opportunity to read the first chapter if you choose.
There you go. And then take it for a little test drive. And of course, when you're here in Lloyd, I'm sure people might want to come by and see you in person and pick up a copy of the book at Kohl's as well. So that's always an option. But thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. Very exciting
Thank
that
you.
this long journey is finally coming to an end. You have the book, the novel out now, and I wish you the best of luck and thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you, Chase.
And ending off with another quick look at your 7-day forecast, we are going to see a scorcher tomorrow with 27, so almost hitting that 30-degree mark. Be prepared for a very warm day tomorrow. Make sure to, dress appropriately, enjoy it out there, but make sure you got lots of water, sunscreen, everything that's really important. And we will be seeing those conditions continue on into the weekend, the long weekend. Yeah, the long weekend, and we will end off that weekend still on a slightly warmer note at 23, and we will be seeing those temperatures continue on through the rest of next week. And also hopefully seeing some precipitation next Tuesday as well. That would be very nice.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little thing to shake up that heat that we're going to be seeing, because tomorrow definitely seems like it's going to be a scorcher.
Oh, it is going to be indeed. That's why I always say, drink lots of water. Use that sunscreen, because I feel like that is you can kind of forget some of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. You kind of forget some of the safety stuff when you're having so much fun outside, and then that's when it hits you. That's when it hits you. So it's better to be safe, and then you can also enjoy yourself, and wherever you want, wear some shorts.
Exactly.
Yeah, t-shirts, whatever you want.
It's also nice to see that we're going to have some great weather for the long weekend. I know there's going to be a lot happening in and around Lloydminster, so make sure people check that out. But we still got a couple more days to go here this week before the end of the week, and that's all the time we have tonight, but we'll be back here again on Thursday. See you then.